What's going on, everybody? Big D, Big Rig Vaping back with you today. Today we're going to go over a couple tips and tricks using eliquidrecipe.com. It's an e-liquid calculator, and I really think you guys are going to enjoy it. Also going to show you how to create a recipe if you want to, and basically just a little step one basically in a DIY series. So let's get to it. Come on.
Tell me like a Hellcat.
Alright, everybody, Big D, Big Rig Vaping, we're back here. I gotta rejuice my thing here, so pardon the dead air. Guys, today we're going to go and we're going to take a close-up personal look at a website called eliquidrecipes.com. E-liquid or e-liquid-recipes.com, I think is what it is. I always just Google e-liquid recipe and it pulls it right up. So I'll show you how to go in there and create some e-liquids, how to manipulate them, how to make your own DIY. I firmly believe that the vaping community is going to be going toward DIY simply because the regulations that are put in place. I mean, they pretty much got it set up where the only way you're going to be able to do it is do it yourself, which is fine. I mean, you can save a lot of money doing DIY. And when you get really good at it, you can make just as good a e-liquid as what you get at some of these other places. Case in point, this is a strawberry pear. It's quite tasty, actually. 2 or 3 simple ingredients. I think it's just 2 ingredients, 2 flavorings rather. Took me all of 10 minutes to make, probably $1 for a 30 ml bottle. So it's real simple. The ingredients can be purchased really easily. I use 2 main suppliers, but I'll go over that. I'll put links down below to a couple of places. I get my nicotine from Wizard Labs out of Orlando, Florida, and I get everything else, bottles, VG, PG, all the flavorings I want from Bull City Vapor out of Durham, North Carolina. And I'll put links down below to these guys. And as you can see, vapor production on this e-liquid's good, flavor on it's good, and I made this myself. So it's not hard making your own e-liquid, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you up close. I'm going to share the screen with you, and we're going to go to a website, eliquidrecipe.com, and we're going to demonstrate how to do it. So let's go to it. Come on. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to go over how to manipulate e-liquid calculator. Website e-liquid calculator recipe or eliquidrecipes.com. You go to the website, basically you pull this up here, and what I do is I tap the rating in the top right corner here, and it shows you the highest ranked recipes. Today, for the purpose of this tutorial, all we're going to do is basically just show you how to manipulate a recipe that's already here. We're not going to create our own recipe, but we are going to manipulate a recipe that is already here. So we're just going to tap on the first one, the Mother's Unicorn Milk. It's 4.5 stars. A lot of people have commented on it, so we're going to check it out. As you can see, when I tap on that, it brings up everything we need for this recipe, all the ingredients and everything. We're gonna go ahead and change some things in here. We're gonna adapt this recipe to make it our own. So this is what we're going to do. Some of the ingredients I have, like for instance the nicotine, isn't where I want it. Also, it says it's a 50-50 PG-VG ratio, and I don't want that either. So we're going to change this and make it more of our own. We're just going to use the recipe that's already there to do that. So tap the blue wrench there that you see in the upper right corner now. We'll tap that, and we'll see you have some choices that pop up. We're going to hit adapt this. So we'll adapt this. And basically this is what you're going to get if I can get my, there we go, thing to come out of the way. See, it says Mother's Unicorn Milk. You could change that recipe if you wanted to. Amount to make, we're going to make a 10 ml batch today. We can change that if we wanted to by tapping on it. But we're not going to do that. The strength desired, we're going to change that. We're going to make this a 3 milligram batch. We're not going to be using any additives like water, vodka, or PGA. I never change that because I really don't know who would want to do that. The desired PG, desired VG. You can change these independently. I like to make mine max VG. So to do that, just check the little box that says max VG, and boom, it takes care of that for you. Makes it real nice and easy. The nicotine strength I'm working with today is going to be 100 milligram per milliliter. So that setting is fine. If you have a different strength nicotine, you can change that. The PG content of the nicotine is set for 100 and 0 VG. That needs to be changed because I'm using 100% VG nicotine. So to do that, we just come down here, make that 100, and there you go. You can see it adjusted the PG for me, and I didn't have to worry about that. Now we're going to go down a little bit. We got Bavarian cream is at 4%, cheesecake is at 5%, etc., etc., etc. If I have all these flavors, then this looks good to me, which it does. I can go ahead and accept it and just move on with my life. But if, for instance, I say I wanted to lower the strawberry, I don't like too much strawberry, I can change that. I can go ahead and tap on that if I wanted to. And I can make that whatever I wanted. Hold on a minute. There we go. I can make this 9 milligrams if I wanted to. So there you go there, right? And I can do all of these things, and I can save it. I can add notes and whatever. Now right below this, I'm not going to save this recipe because I don't want to, but it shows you your changes on the fly. So you can see here now that our nicotine is max VG 100 milligram, and we've got it set the way we need it to be. We're not using any PG in this recipe, so it doesn't show PG. It shows VG diluent, and then it shows our total flavorings with the ratios. Now guys, this is pretty simple stuff. You see the percentage line down there? That shows you the percentages of those flavors. The multicolored bar there in the middle of the screen, red represents nicotine, green represents your PG or VG diluent, and the blue represents the flavors you have in this recipe. The flavor total for this recipe, as you can see, it's strength 3 milligram. Max VG is going to come out to a 75-25. You can't make it any higher because you got so many flavors, and those flavors are PG based, so that is what it is. Our total flavor is 2.5 milliliters or milligrams, and that's 25%. And there's no price because we're not going to sell this. This is just demonstration only. So basically all you do, now I do everything in weight, okay? I use a scale, and I'll go through that with you too, but I measure everything in weight. So what I would do is I would start with my flavorings or my nicotine. Let's start with nicotine, and you would put your bottle on the scale, 0 or 10.
Voice message.
My phone's going off. 0 or tear your scale out with the bottle in place and add your nicotine, which in this case it's asking for 0.3 milligrams of nicotine. Okay, the reason it's such a small amount is because we're only making a 10 ml batch. But what I do is I just take it, put it in a little syringe and drip it in there until my scale reads 0.38. Then I know I got it right. Without removing the bottle, hit the tear button, and we're going to go down to the next thing, which is going to be our Bavarian Cream by the Perfumer's Apprentice, or the flavor TFA, the Flavor Apprentice, same company. And you can see 0.4 is the amount we need to add by weight there. Cheesecake, we're going to add 0.5 grams, and so forth and so on. Just remember, after you do each flavor, each ingredient, always hit the tear button on your scale, and that will give you a 0 reading so you can start fresh. It's real important to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be pretty much guesswork on what you're going to be creating. So, yeah, it's pretty simple. When you get done adding all your flavors and your nicotine, then you just add your VG or your whatever diluent you happen to have. If you have PG, you can add that. Just add the rest of it. I usually just top the bottle off if I'm doing a 30 ml bottle. But if you don't want to do that, you can do it by weight. And so it says by weight we need 9.08 grams of VG. So I would add that, put the cap back on, the dripper back on, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Now, a lot of people ask, how much do you need to shake it? Well, you need to shake it until there are so many bubbles in that liquid that you almost can't see through it anymore. I always say shake it until your arm hurts, then shake it some more. So it's not going to hurt, but just shake the shit out of it, and make sure it's, very, very well mixed. Remember, VG is real thick, so it takes a moment for that to get in there, right? So we don't want to do that. You can also create your own recipes with ELR. I'll show you how to do that also. We're going to go back to the main page, which is right here. Give us just a second. There you go. Alright, at the very top you see it says create recipe. We can tap that right there, and that's going to open up. We can add a recipe name, and we're going to call this Showstopper. Right? No, not Show Stoop. Showstopper. Ah, damn it. There we go. Showstopper. Alright, there we go. I know it's a typo. It's not spelled correctly. Who cares? Alright, now we're going to change our amount to make. We're going to make a 30 ml batch. And there we go there. We're going to make our nicotine strength is going to be 3 milligram nicotine. And we're going to make it a max VG solution. So there we go there. Nicotine strength is 100 milligrams per milliliter. That is correct. And we're going to make this, change that to 100 milligram or 100% VG, because I have straight VG nicotine. Now, you notice there's no flavors, right? All we have to go all the way down here is just the base, right? Just the nicotine and the VG, because that's all we've told it to do so far. So now let's add a flavor. Let's say we want Showstopper to be a strawberries and cream. Tap add flavor. Flavor 1, STRAW, strawberry. Alright, now if I go down, it's going to show me a list of all known flavors in the system that have the word strawberry in it. Strawberry ripe is the one that I use most, so that's the one we're going to tap. Alright, and it asks me how much do I want to use. What is the percentage that I want to use? Well, let's start off with 9% strawberry. Alright, so now we got 9% strawberry ripe by TPA. Let's add another flavor. Let's say we want to do, I don't know, let's say mango. M-A-N-G-O. Let's look at it. Right. Come on now. There we go. Alright. Doing this on my phone is kind of a trick. So now it's going to show all the mango flavors I have. So let's say I have Flavor Art Mango. F-A mango. Just tap that and it's going to know exactly what we're dealing with. And let's say I want this at 3.2%. Because I want my strawberry to be the dominant flavor, okay? Now, we've already got those two ingredients in there. Let's just say that's what we want to do. That's good enough. We're doing this for kicks just to show you guys how to do it. Scroll down, Showstopper. Sorry about that. I had somebody asking me a question there. Anyway. Yeah, so as you can see, we have all our percentages set in. It's showing us if you want to mix by volume, you can mix by milliliters. That's using syringes. I don't do that. I mix by weight, which is the grams. Makes it nice and easy, and that's the method I always use. Shows me exactly what I need. This shows me some information on this batch. It shows me that at max VG, with what I've got in here now, it's going to be 88:12 VG-PG ratio, and I have 12.2% flavorings so far. Now that's fine. That's just exactly what we want. If I wanted to save this, I would hit save. And this would show up in my recipes as a private recipe. Because this is a private recipe, box is checked. Once I define that recipe and I get it to where I say, okay, this one's ready for prime time, I uncheck that box and resave it, and then it goes public. Then you guys can see that recipe. Alright? And what we're going to do now, just for kicks, I'm going to go to my page so you can see some of the recipes. And this is going to actually show you all my recipes, right? This is going to show you my page from the beginning. It's going to show you the recipe mixers I follow. It's going to show you my recipe catalog of all my recipes. Now, the ones with the little icon before the name, that is a private recipe, okay? I am looking to adapt recipes, or I've created recipes and I haven't quite got those tweaked yet. But let's look at one. Let's go down. Let's look at my blueberry mojito recipe. Tap on it. Excuse me, I had a hiccup. And you can see this recipe, I have decided that it is good enough for prime time. Now, this is a very good blueberry mojito recipe. I like it a lot. So yeah, I really dig it. The only problem with it is the Flavor West mojito ingredient. You see the little caution symbol beside it? That tells you that this has a questionable ingredient in it. I never worry about that. Basically, it's telling me that this is made with cane sugar, and cane sugar can be rough on you if you burn it. So we want to make sure that we don't burn it. If you notice your coils start tasting a little funky, change your wicks, clean and dry burn your coils, and you're just fine. I really like this recipe a lot. You can add notes, all that good stuff, and there you go. Now, if you created a recipe, excuse me, that's a friend of mine popped in there. If you create a recipe, you have more options on your little blue wrench. So I can hit adapt this, which is my recipe. I don't want to adapt it, but I now have edit, delete options as well. So let's say I want to edit this recipe. I can go and I can change the name on the fly, change the ingredients, all that good stuff. But let's say I like mine at 3 milligram, and somebody else, like my son, he wants to come in here and say, I want to make mine 12 milligram for nicotine. Well, he can change that by using the edit button instead of having to adapt the recipe. Once you adapt a recipe and then save it, it saves as your recipe, and it shows that it was adapted by somebody else, and then you have the edit button available to you. So I think I've pretty much covered most everything on this. Can't think of anything else I need to go through. There's other options with this as well. Play with the website. I like this eliquid calculator best because, like I said, it does have a vast database of recipes, and most of your big time mixers, Fresh 03, Wayne with DIY or Die, really all of them pretty much go here for the most part. So that being said, guys, we'll go back out to FaceTime here, and we'll see if we can wrap this up. Alright guys, yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, it's a pretty simple website to navigate. It's really simple to make your own e-liquid. You need some basic tools, okay? You're going to need, if you're going to do it like me, you're going to need a couple of syringes. You can pick them up just about anywhere. You can get them from Bull City Vapor has got them. You can pick them up at your local Walmart or your local pet supply. They don't have to be sterile. They just have to be clean. If you pick them up from a pet supply store, they're going to be sterile because those are used to administer penicillin and other drugs to your dog, cat, whatever, through a needle. So they're going to be clean. Sterile is sterile. It doesn't matter if it's for a human or for an animal. Sterile is sterile. So don't pay outrageous prices for these. If you need just a simple syringe to measure your nicotine, you can go to your local drugstore and tell them, I need to get a syringe to give medicine to my infant, and they'll give you a little 5 ml syringe, which is perfectly fine for your nicotine. That's what I use at home. I use that with a blunt tip needle, stick it in there, pull up my nicotine in the syringe, drip on in my bottle, my scale, until I get the weight I want. Basic procedures for doing with a scale. First thing you want to do is have all your ingredients handy. Have all your supplies handy. You don't want to have to get up and go run get something. You could forget where you're at and all that stuff. So have everything handy. Second thing, safety. Guys, nicotine's dangerous, okay? Especially if you deal with it in high milligram doses. I use 100 milligrams per milliliter. And if you get that on you, if you don't get it off really quick, you're going to get a good headache from it. Nicotine absorbs through the skin, and it is considered highly poisonous. So keep it out of reach of children. I have a refrigerator at home where I keep mine. You can store it in the freezer if you want. Just if you have kids in the house, make sure if you have small children, you keep it up out of the way, or maybe get a dedicated, like a little mini fridge in your bedroom and put a padlock on it so they can't get in there. I'd hate to see somebody's kid get into a 100 milligram per milliliter bottle of nicotine and end up dying. And you can. I mean, it is, like I said, it's poisonous. It can kill you. But don't let that scare you. Use basic safety equipment, right? Be careful. Be mindful of what you're doing. And by all means, use gloves. You can get gloves and protective eyewear from your local Harbor Freight, from your local hardware store, and even Walmart. I like to use mechanics gloves because they're thick. Yes, my daughter's creeping. But I like to use thick mechanics gloves just because I don't want to take a chance on ripping a glove and getting something on me. I get mine from Harbor Freight. They're relatively inexpensive. I think I paid $4 for a big box of the blue nitrile, whatever they are, mechanics gloves. They're real thick. I think it's 100 mil gloves. They're real tough. Pretty simple. Safety goggles. You can get them, pick them up anywhere. I mean, foresight's better than no sight, right? You get nicotine in your eye, you're going to have a bad day. And that's basically it. Just make sure that you got a clean work area to deal with. It doesn't have to be sanitary. You don't have to have an ISO 7 lab. I mix mine right there on my computer desk, right there in front of my computer in my living room. So if you eat in your house and your house is clean enough for you to eat in it, then you should be fairly comfortable with making e-liquid for you to vape from your house. That being said, the sanitation is up to you. You know, if you want to mix your e-liquid on a table that's got flies all over it, that's your business. Just don't send none of that my way, please. I don't want none of that. I like what I got. So yeah, get everything handy, safety first, and do that. What I like to do is when I'm mixing a recipe, I get all my ingredients for my recipe and I set them on the counter. And then as I use them, I put them away or put them aside. So that way I know I've already used that and I don't have any confusion on possibly doubling something. Let's say I've got a recipe and I'm making strawberry kiwi peach. Let's just, why not, right? So I'll take my strawberry flavor here, my kiwi, and my peach, and put it here. And as I use the strawberry, once I get done with it, set it aside. The next one up there is this one. Set it aside. Grab the next one. Set it aside. Crap, I got nothing else left to grab, so I must be done. See how easy that works? I always add my nicotine first, then I add my flavoring, and then I finish off with my VG. You can do it however you want to. There's no right or wrong way to do it, as long as A ingredients end up in B container, and that's all there is to it. If this dumbass truck driver can do this, I'm telling you, you can do it too. Get you a scale. You need a scale that measures into the 100ths of a gram, meaning that when you look at the display, it needs to say 0.00. Don't get a cheap one or just any old one that says 0.0. It's not quite accurate enough. You need a little bit more accuracy. Honestly, I got mine from a head shop, paid $35 for it. It works fine. You can go online on eBay or Amazon. Fresh03 just said he bought 10 of them. I think he said 5 or 10 of them, like $10 a piece. I think he said some crazy price. They're easy to get. They're cheap to get. So yeah, to get that. So get you a couple of syringes to deal with. Get your basic ingredients. Get a decent scale and get some bottles. You can get bottles from various websites. I use Bull City Vapor, but you can look it up, and there's thousands of vendors online to buy bottles from. EC Express has them. You can go on eBay and find them. You can buy unicorn bottles by the gross. I usually use these here that I get from Bull City Vapor. They're just 30 ml bottles, and that's what I use. And you can label your bottles however you want. I went and got a little Dymo label maker, you know, so I just put a little label on there, print it out, stick it on there, and I know what I got. You can use a mailing label. Write it down on a mailing label, stick it on the bottle, use a piece of tape, freezer tape or whatever. Whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong way. I don't see the sense of making a super fancy label because if I decide to reuse this bottle, that label's probably going to come off, right? So, and besides, I'm not selling it. This is for my own personal consumption. So it doesn't have to have a barcode or a lot number or nothing else like that. I made this. I know what's in this. So yeah, there you go there. I need batteries in that. So yeah, fortunately my daughter, I just handed her my mod. She knows how to put batteries in. She's jammed up with that. So everybody, let me turn the camera. Say hey to my daughter. This is Mackenzie. Hey.
Hi.
So there you go. Her 10 minutes or 10 seconds of fame. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm going to be doing more of these. If you like these type of videos, the DIY liquid style videos, put some comments down there. Let me know. Let me know if you got an idea for a recipe and you want my help with it. Do that. Oh yeah, that's much better. If you see flavors that you haven't used yet, and you want to know what I think about it, shoot me a message. Also, check out some other YouTubers out there. Fresh03. I watch Fresh03 religiously every week. I try to watch him live every time I can, and if I watch him live, I'll usually throw up a recipe for the show. I was a guest on the show once. Might do it again. I had a good time when I was on it once before. So yeah, go check out Fresh03. Go check out Wayne at DIYOrDie.com or DIY or Die here on YouTube. Never can have too much knowledge, and these guys are pretty good mixers, so they come out with some pretty good recipes. Fresh has 3 or 4 different mixers on his Saturday show, and these guys come out with some pretty good ideas. I've got an apple caramel recipe that I heard somebody mention on his show, and I'm like, damn, sounds pretty good. It's not quite done yet. Still got a little bit more left to do on it. But once I get it done, then I'll definitely release it as well. Guys, that's pretty much all I got for you. Sorry it's been so long getting a video out to you. Had the kids this summer, so trying to do a video and keep up with work and take care of them too, and back and forth. It's been a mess, but hopefully we're going to get back on track and get everything going again. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. I really do appreciate it. Got some new members, or actually new subscribers coming in. So you guys that are seeing a new video now for the first time, welcome aboard, man. I'm glad to see you. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. As always, guys, keep it shiny side up, man. Vape on.